on there have gotten off. John Scott is a pilot, and I'm sure has flown these planes as well. I must tell you, it is an astonishing thing. This is less than a mile from our office, much less than a mile, and to see a major regional jet down in the Hudson River on a 20-degree day is astounding. It
is just absolutely unbelievable, Shepard, and I have to sit here and wonder whether there might have been another aircraft involved. I know we're just getting the first details on this, and it's way too early to speculate about what happened, but when I fly my little single-engine plane up and down the Hudson River, it is an extremely busy air corridor. The sightseeing helicopters, the traffic helicopters are all flying at about 800 feet or below, and then there are a number of light planes. You see a tremendous amount of air traffic, and I just have to wonder whether there might have been another aircraft involved.
Well, I'll tell you what we're learning now, and we're just getting this crossing. It's our understanding from witnesses on the scene now that this plane came in wings level, as if landing on a landing strip, as if going into LaGuardia, and apparently something had gone wrong. We're not sure. There are some suggestions by some that it may have hit a flock of geese.
That's possible.
At any rate, that it flew wings level and landed on the Hudson River as a jet might land at an airport. Now, in this day and time, with the number of people with video cameras along this waterfront, there's a long jogging track there. I know it's 20 degrees outside, but New Yorkers jog in 20 degrees. Trust me, I bet you there's video of this somewhere. But it's being described as landing as if on a runway, and since then people getting off. Now, I have new information on what this plane is. The witnesses say that it flew in wings level on the crash, may have hit a flock of geese, difficulty managing the plane, and that the pilot made the decision that he had to go down. We are getting multiple reports now that this was a flight from New York City's LaGuardia to Charlotte. In fact, the latest I'm getting now, flight 1549, LaGuardia to Charlotte, an A320 aircraft, so not the Embraer that I said earlier, but I'm not sure that's right. It just doesn't look like that to me. At any rate, I'm told that this was a flight from LaGuardia to Charlotte, and John Scott, that is a flight path right along that river, one of them, though I've never taken off that way. I've flown in that way.
Yeah, when you fly in that way, they will vector you up the Hudson River northbound sometimes. Looking at that little winglet on the tip of the far wing, it could be an A320.
I now have it confirmed. US Airways flight 1549, an Airbus A320 twin jet from LaGuardia, destination Charlotte Douglas International. And we have no indication that there were any other flights that were involved in this, and down it went. No indication of any injuries, no word of anything like that. Again, this is breaking breaking while we're watching it all. And I think we've given you, for the second at least, what we know. But like I said, if you were in New York City and you were standing on 42nd Street in Midtown Manhattan, and you were to look west toward New Jersey, that's where this plane is, in the center of the Hudson River. And John, it appears that, however slowly, it does appear that it's sinking.
Yeah, it may be that the flock of geese thing is a possible explanation here, Shepard. I know that there are a number of jets coming into Newark Airport in recent months that have hit geese. They come in at about a 3-degree glide slope, it's called, when they come into Newark, so they are low for a long ways, and there are a number of jets that have had severe damage done to them simply by hitting geese. There's not much you can do about that. They are out there.
A contact from the New York City Police is messaging me now, my text message, and saying that this commercial plane that divers went in the moment they were able to set up a launch position, I would assume to find out if anybody was in the water at the time. My police source, and a very good one, tells me there was no indication, according to witnesses on scene as this thing went down, that the plane broke up in any way. Now, we may find that not to be the case later, but at least as it was going down, my police source tells me a level 1 mobilization is in effect right now in New York City. These levels of mobilization were updated after the attacks of 9/11, and a level 1 is obviously a very serious one. And at this point, I can't help but say, imagine these first 146 passengers were said to have been on board this flight, as you see at the bottom of the screen, and that would make it, John Scott, pretty well full if it is in fact a 320.
That's in fact the case. Just absolutely unbelievable, these pictures. You know, the other thing I was thinking about, Shepard, every time I fly that corridor, you start wondering, okay, if I had an engine problem right now, where would I set down? Because you look around Manhattan and even on the far side of the river, on the Jersey side of the river, there is no open space.
None.
Normally you look for a golf course, you look for a baseball diamond, anything. There's nothing like that in that part of Manhattan. So maybe if this pilot had some kind of an engine problem, he figured out that the Hudson River was going to be the place to try to put it down.
And I guess if you were to look west, the only thing over there anywhere would be the Teterboro Airport, and that's a long way from where we're talking about here, at least 15 miles.
Yeah, if in fact this pilot was at a fairly low elevation. I mean, typically air traffic control will have me fly at 1,500 feet, sometimes 2,000 feet, because you have to stay under the air traffic, the zone for Newark Airport, which is fairly close. So this pilot may have been fairly low, and if he had some kind of a problem, hit a goose or something, you just don't have that much time to make a correction.
My police source is now telling me we've moved to a level 3 response, that there were divers in the water. More response needed at 29th Street, which is an area where the police are going in. 2 divers have brought passengers to waterway taxis, and apparently these were people who were in the water prior to the authorities getting there. This is not to suggest there was a breakup. More likely, though I can't know, more likely that people opened the exit doors, got out of there, and found themselves in the frigid and turbulent waters of the Hudson River. It's whitecapping in some places. It's a windy day. When I say that there are 14-mile-an-hour winds in New York City, Hudson River is not. The Hudson River is a wind tunnel, and at 21 degrees, the frigid waters. Imagine what that was like. Getting new information.